Yeah, I'm curious if our panelists can just talk about your relationship to your little black book, how that's grown. What do you use it for? Is it just for practice? Is it for writing as well? Other kinds of writing? What is your black book sketchbook process?
I definitely feel like this is part of what keeps me sane in a digital world. I think that the need for something tangible, something real, something that is not digital is super helpful for me. So I use it to take notes in, I use it to write down dreams, I use it to sketch whatever I'm thinking. I try to use it kind of as meditation. So it's a practice of spending a little bit of time, maybe 2 songs. I try to do at least 2 songs a day, play 2 songs and spend that time focused on sketching. So that's a advice that I have for younger people who are also trying to stay sane in a digital world is keep a black book and continue to document your evolution. You can see from the beginning of each book that I've kept over the past 20 years, from the beginning to the end, you can see that I've grown as an artist. And then also I'll share it with my friends and have them put their names into it too, so that I can document their process and their growth, as well as we all document moments that we're together, or document trips that we've had or fun that we've had, by contributing to each other's black books. And then it's a place to get to go back and look later and see, like, especially after some of our homies have passed away, all I have left is what they left me in my black book. So so I feel like it's been an archive of my life and I really appreciate it. What about you, Nate? You want to go next?
Oh, I love what you said. Everything you just said is so true. And for me in my life, black booking or working in your black book has been a tradition that I've tried to maintain. So up until about the early 2000s, when I had a kid, that's when all that came to an end. So I still have sketchbooks, but they're not as finalized or as finished as when I first started. But it was definitely a place where I could hone my skills and try to create new things in the lab, so to speak, and then bring them out to the wall and get them up. And so really quick, it's a little treat for you guys. This is one of my first piece books from 1987. So these are things this is maybe my second piece book, Nancy. These are actually drawings that were put into this old Walgreens photo album. And yeah, if you can see, the way I'm doing these back then is I'm drawing them with pencil, I'm coloring them in with markers, I'm inking them, but there was a thing called an air marker back in the day, and you would connect an airbrush to the tip of a marker and it would spray out. So I broke mine. I didn't have another one. So I just kind of, just like in a total hip hop way, I just used an airbrush that my dad had for his work, and I kind of makeshifted it so that it worked the same sort of way. And that's how I got this fade up here. That's how I was able to fade these characters right here. And I used like an airbrush and just cheap markers, And what's crazy is I still do that technique today. I still use markers, just like water-based markers and my airbrush. And sometimes I need that little pop in a drawing. So I spent a lot of time working on my black book. These are like big fold outs, these are big fold outs that I did. And again, like I learned all this tradition of drawing in a black book from my mentors in Chicago, the Feds crew. So yeah, even back here, I'm only like 16 years old, but I'm learning about tools that you could use to draw, like these things called rapidograph pens. They were like, I guess, traditionally used for drawing architecture or things like that. So I'm using these tools to create this artwork, and I learned about things called design markers, which are alcohol-based markers that can blend color. So even at 16, you know, and I always tell people I never went to art school, but in a way, hip hop was making us kind of do these art assignments, you know, getting your supplies and like trying things out and messing up. And so when I say I learned a lot through graffiti art in terms of using color and line weights and things like that, it's so true for me. You know, that's why I'm so serious about it.
Yeah. I would add, you know, we are our own archivists, and we're of age now to where these, like Nancy was saying, I mean, we hung out with people, had friends in the last 25 years that are no longer here. It's important for us to document this. You know, Jim Prigoff passed away. These people aren't going to always be there for us to document. We need to be able to document. So one of the first documentation that we have as far as individuals was our Black books and our photo albums. And so we do still have those. I still have mine. And I think when you're sharing, now that we're all OGs, like we're OGs now, sharing our first pieces with up and coming artists like you guys here, really helps you see that what we do is not magic. Like if I show you my first couple pieces, you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like I'm on track, you know? And so being able to share that humble beginning is very important for ourselves, for our children, and for the next generation. And then just for our own personal memories. I'll turn it on with this. So I'm at the school, Albany Middle School right now. I was DJing their graduation, but this is what we did for their backdrop at their graduation. So this was my sketch from this weekend. It's a Cobra Pride piece that we did. My man Kufu did the Cobra.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, you know. But yeah, that's, you guys are speaking it, but we have to be our archivists. We have to be responsible for our own culture. And, you know, for like Nate, what you're showing us right now, I mean, you have pristine Black books from '88. Like, I feel like, man, boy, oh boy, I need to go and just make sure that I know where my stuff is and preserve it a little better, because, you know, when we're young, we don't realize that this stuff matters. Like, you know, like not all of us do. We just do it and we keep it moving. And some of you guys who are just getting started now are probably feeling the same way, like, these sketches, I can throw them away. And we're coming back, like Back to the Future, like, don't throw them away. No matter how good, how bad, please. You may not need to look at them for 15 years, but you're going to want them 15 years from now.
Right. That's so true. Yeah. Save your work, you know, keep it in a portfolio. The more you respect your old artwork, it'll make you put more care into your new stuff. And it's like a diary, like Nancy was saying, you know, it's like a journal. It's a way to visually kind of document your art journey.
Yes, that's beautiful. It's such a good point, right? Because oftentimes when we don't like something or it's a work in progress, we just want to throw it away and kind of forget about it. So it's kind of, it's a challenge to leave stuff in your sketchbook and your Black book and maybe something that you don't like and then but it's so satisfying to look at it later and then be like, wow, look how far I've come.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being not good. There's nothing wrong with being weak. It's a part of the process. Every single person who you may admire or look up to, we've all been there and we still are all there. As we're progressing, we're all climbing new heights, trying new things that make us feel just as vulnerable as when we first started in whatever our endeavor was. So don't feel you need to avoid being seen as vulnerable or weak or in process.
Yeah, the only whack thing is giving up.